I know you can hear it. I know you feel it. I know you see it. The last time South Africa was in this mood of happiness was on May 16, 2015. Do you remember what happened on that day? Well, before I tell you what happened on that day, 16 May, 2015, let me tell you something special. The man who's responsible, or rather should I say, the boy who's responsible for bringing back memories from 10 years ago. If you had to look at a special day, 27th of June 2004, it gives you what? 20 years, right? So which means in 2015, when the happiness index of South Africa was at an all-time high, the boy who brought it back was only 10 years old. Yes, Duba that scored the goal and gets Kaizer Chiefs back into a final was only 10 years old the last time they lifted the trophy. In fact, I'll do one better. I'll give you the exact days. He was 10 years old, 10 months, and 19 days. This goes to show one thing and one thing only. Doggy?
Hey.
Amalanga awafani.
Yeah?
Amalanga awafani. One day, uhleli la uyacomplain isistem hlungu akwazi nokukhuluma. One day, ujabula usibulisa sakho ushanga ama high five. Amalanga awafani, Doggy.
Kumnandi emzansi.
Ngicela ukubona usmile man.
Hey, kumnandi emzansi la. Yabona into engiyibona izolo. I had a great weekend. Azinhlolo tournament abantwana Police Foundation mangibuya ngahlala phansi nganaba. Hey, first goal eSundowns ngithi yo ebuho madoda wenzani? Hayi ngike ngadlula kancane ngaya ngapha ngathi uthi umthandazo kancane ngababiza bonke abamakhosi ngathi hawu anikwazi kuyenza lento.
Ithakazela.
Yeah.
Well, Doggy, I don't know how long that happiness is going to last because as part of the show today, the entire South Africa is sitting down 9 o'clock, our new time slot on a Monday, and they're saying, Andile, we want to know one thing. Was it a goal or not? But do you have questions over and above that? You can send them to us. We're live on SABC1. We've got all our social media pages that are playing exactly this show. And we want to be interactive with you. We want to speak to you. We want to hear from you. We've got Pep Lindo, who's out there as well with his mic talking to you. Wherever you see him, you know that he represents us here and your questions. So get onto our social media pages on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, wherever it is that we are. Ask us a live question. I'll read them live right and get into them. Let me greet everybody before we do start, of course. Coach, you set for the Orlando Pirates game. No surprises there?
No surprises there. Namhlanje ama sibakhabulisa abantu ekhaya sithi ama tactics ama facts. Akunakuthi i-emblem ithini ama-color thini, they are factual in the silethayo.
Oh, we're going to go to that fact. And of course, there's a man who's got all the answers that South Africa is waiting for. Here on Soccer Zone, we call him the principal.
Riperile makaya amalanga wafani mara ilo level website yafana. La ku Soccer Zone today siyoyiteka le ndaba ukuthi bekuyi offside or not. Nale goal elihle la ka Dupri, was it offside or not? Siyoyiteka la ku Soccer Zone.
He's standing next to the show at the moment. We're going to be good to him, of course, with all things news. He's got great news on what's happening with Mamelodi Sundowns wanting to sign more players. Is that even possible? And of course, we've got Hlungwane as well out in Wydad. Is he leaving the team that he left South Africa for to go start a new life? Only one person has all the answers. It's the Super Journal.
Andile Artaleria Morocco, this is a story that we broke first last week, that coach Hlungwane, 8 months without his salary. And essentially he blew his top following a match between Raja Casablanca and Wydad Athletic Club, 1-1. But the media who defended that club here, Wydad Casablanca, and we've got a video of the coach addressing the press about how they've treated him in his time in Casablanca.
When I hear that's why I'm the coach, so I make the decisions, and of course. So, but you guys question all the time. You question. Yes, but you are the coach. Yeah, and I make the decisions. So leave me to make the decisions and die with the decisions.
They told you that you hear a lot of what public say.
No, not anymore. I'm off. One of the reasons I went off social media is because of the noise.
لأنك كنت تسمع بزاف من الجماهير.
And because everything is, this opinion, there's 5 million Widadis. I cannot satisfy 5 million people. I have to do what I believe inside my soul. I have to do what I believe is right.
Maybe what he believes should be right is Coach Rulani Mokoena re kopa o tle hae, because by our super. Let's go back to where Coach Rulani Mokoena comes from, Chlorkop. Now, information that we're getting exclusively, more SABCsport.com as well as Soccer Zone, is that Sundowns have now applied to SAFA to have the transfer window brought early so that they can sign players essentially for the FIFA Club World Cup that starts. Their first game is on the 14th of June, and they've asked SAFA to facilitate the window to be opened a little bit earlier because they want to sign new players that can play at these clubs in USA in the next couple of months, Andile.
And see, people are going to hear that it's going to be a bit of an uproar to guitar. They want to sign more players, they want a special window, but it's nothing new in the world of football with this new big Club World Cup being set up.
Premier League is doing it already, La Liga is doing it already, and this applies to all the teams in the league. And what's more special about this, remember it's a shortened transfer window, which means still is as of window for the normal league season, either in winter or summer when you look at Europe. And this is the scenario. Arnold, his contract ends in Liverpool, right? When it ends, Real Madrid and possibly going to Real Madrid, normally because of joining a knockout, but manje, because Real Madrid says we can sign you in a short period, uzoqala from Club World Cup mayiqala up to the end. So that is incredible, and I think it's at the discretion of SAFA which they can allow it or not, but izobasiza mabangenza kanjalo. And you know, that really will do a lot for Sundowns because there's players ama contract abaphela end of June. So if bangavumi ngeke baye ku Club World Cup.
Absolutely. Hopefully, happy Coach Ure, from 1st of July, tournament here, USA will still be ongoing out in the USA. Let's move on now to our next story. It concerns Chippa United now. It's important in the sense that Chippa United have said they are open to bids for Snokolo, Kwaiba, as well as Stanley Nwabali. We know Nwabali for sure is the player that they almost very much sold in their previous season, but that didn't happen. Kwaiba is top of his game at the moment, and they are saying the right price will get them the player, Andile. He will subsequently could move on. Coach Thabo September has even said in media that he's resigned to losing Kwaiba in the next couple of weeks.
19 appearances, 6 goals, 1 assist. Only 25 years old, Togi, is Kwaiba. Kona Langembona corner. Stanley Nwabali, one of the best this season, one of the best on the continent, if the last AFCON is anything to go by. Kona Lababona corner.
Yes, good to follow good. But to be honest, I mean, if it's cool my bowler, Kwaiba is still young and himself a call up Hugo Bruce. Very, very, very energetic, and I think he can make a difference in the middle of the park in Nigeria. Now, when you talk Nwabali, Nigerian international, he's #1 for Nigerian national team, and overseas. Now, when you look at his stat cycle, he is like #3 in most saves, and he's one of the top goalkeepers in South Africa. So, somehow, I solve Indaba.
Good.
In Nigeria. Listen, he cares.
Yeah,
he's one of the best goalkeepers. Can't you to funa uglungisa? Melu land at the top in order for you, mabati pound to pound. Bangati pound with 3 cents.
Well, just in case Stanley Nwabali do not move to local clubs, this now brings me to my next story in the sense that Y-Scout and the PSL have finally reached an agreement. Y-Scout is a video service that sends out video clips of players in the local league to Europe, outside the African continent. After 2 seasons or so of not having a firm agreement, now it's in place. So that means that Kwaiba and Nwabali could potentially be seen. And then our final story, Royal AM. I'm told the ladies team is playing because, remember, SARS did not necessarily attach that entity. It's separate, and as an amateur club can continue to play while the male footballers bona ha ba sana mo ba dulang teng ha bona. Therefore, they are free agents and they will be looking for a new home. So we'll update you on those stories and more on sabcsport.com.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Chekonia, he's back towards the end of the show to give you the moomish alongside with the referee. But we want you to be the referee because we want you to make the decisions. We're going to give you 3 players that we think were outstanding this past weekend. We call it the MVP. Basically, wena-ke uzoya ku-social media, kwinkundla zethu zokuxhumana, udecide ukuthi ukhetha omthandayo.
andile kwenzeke imihlolo ezamalekhe masibona ke iStellenbosch scored the goal that put them to semi-finals. History making.
Kabelo Dlamini scored 2 goals last year against Ichipa, and this year in the same semi-final he says I'll score the solitary goal to get my team closer to the three-peat.
Coach uTesimbeke akana pace akekho right masingamfaka pressure sokora nangu korilo tuba usho njalo ku interview yakhe.
Which one are you going with? 1 gets into the semi-final, the 2 get into the final of the Nedbank. Hey, Ketom Tandai, I think I know where this one's going to go. But let's see. Only Rebule Mufukeng has ever beat a Kaizer Chiefs player on the show.
Yeah.
Is Dlamini going to be the second to ever do so? Oh, it could be. The underdog in this one, Unduli for an amazing feat for Stellenbosch. SABC Sport, Skonage, Uzo Zonke, inkundla zokuxhumana. Ask us Kulum. Mamela, umbuzo wami now. Like Kaizer Chiefs, could they finally end their trophy drought this season? Will this be considered a successful season if they miss the top 8? If I win a 9 Nedbank, kodwa njengoba bengekho ku top 8 kuyimanje beku position yes 9. If that happens, they remain in the top 9 and they win the Nedbank. Is that considered a successful season for Kaizer Chiefs? Ngiyalahlela nje ngiyabuza. Nako khuluma nami. Ngifuna ukwazi kuwena kuhlele ekhaya ukuthi ucabangani. Kodwa kubaleke ukuthi izinto eziningi esingathi sikhuluma ngazo ebudlapha. Kodwa le angeke. Happy Freedom Month. We'll be celebrating and emphasizing the power of sport to unite and inspire, reflecting the spirit of freedom and unity. If you didn't see it this past weekend in the Nedbank Cup or when all 3 South African teams qualified, then you don't know what it is that brings us the freedom we love. Right, CAF, there was CAF football. We gave you all 3 games live here on the SABC as we continue to endeavor to be the best broadcaster when it comes to all things football, particularly on African football. Here are the matches from this week's CAF.
Abevaliwe ke uElias Mokwana. Nansi Poleke bayilapha phezu kokunozinti. Abezomnatheli. Enotsha la bola phezu konozinti. Etseke into ibilindelwe ngabalandeli abaninzi. Azikhumbule ba iVAR ikhona kwi-quarter finals iqale apho iyadi yokufika kwi-finals. Sompempe usathetha nabantu abamncedisayo. Ngakho kuSompempe. Inqaku offside.
Southern Africa, there's just 2. 1 to Orlando Pirates, 1 to Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, Mufugeng beautifully down, looking for the return ball. Pirates in behind the defense. Mufugeng again, and Southfish trying to find Otto. Important work defensively. From range, straight into the arms of Musawi.
Arabone Khileo, Baita by Romela, Tudaga Choko Morago, Tabia Teta, Philip Pintonto, Telawela Pekapano Mutsilena, I Romela with the Pocoso, Tudaga Choko, Abanipone. Have the right place. Now Guema Liva, Momamunga Liva, Sipache.
Now the throw comes in. Flicked up backwards again by Zamalek Head. Now into the near post and Koo drives it across goal and there's the opener. Sensational from Stellenbosch. Sile Nduli picks up the loose ball in the area. Again it was the long throw. Again Zamalek didn't cope with it.
An incredible feat for all 3 South African teams that play CAF football in the Champions League, of course, as well as the Confederations Cup. A big surprise there with Stellenbosch, of course. They now go on to meet Simba, coached by South African coach Fadlu in that one day. Doggy, any surprises there? Mamelodi Sundowns as well as Orlando Pirates going through. They're meeting Al Ahly and Pyramids. It's Egypt versus South Africa.
Number 1, number 2, number 2, number 1.
So
now Pyramid is number 1 in Egypt League, and Ali is number 2. Sundowns is 1, and Pirates is 2. So
it's the best teams.
The best teams. I know Xazofiwa.
Yeah, and below, we are really excited to see 2 South African coaches there because Fadlu Davids at Simba, for the first time, Simba has qualified for a semi-final in a CAF Confederations Cup. So, yeah, same thing as Stellenbosch. They are coming through, losing to RS Pekan in the beginning. Manje Seba Lapayan. Malevels.
Take a look. This, football fans, is something you've been waiting for. This is that moment. It's Barcelona versus Real Madrid in the 2015 Copa del Rey final. It's El Clasico on SABC Sport happening on 26 April. It's game day. Signika wona lo mdlalo ku-S3 eyaziwa njenge-SABC 3 kanti futhi ke sikuphinde sithi ungabe useteksini usebhasini usemotweni mhlambe ke usayothenga isishebo SABC Plus i-app ikhona simahla hamba uyibukela and watch the best of football on the best broadcaster on the continent. Two sold-out venues, 1 in Soweto, 1 in Pretoria, 4 goals, 1 in Soweto, but it's a 3 in Pretoria that kept South Africa talking, particularly one that goes in the 45th minute, courtesy of a man that hit a free kick that was just unbelievable in Tebogo. But they said, we can do one better than you. We'll score 2 in the second half, and 1 will be controversial. But we're going through. Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns, Orlando Pirates, and Marumo took each other on in the semi-finals of the Nedbank Cup.
Orlando's pulse is beating loudly on this Sunday. Their Sea Robbers have sailed into the CAF Champions League semi-finals, but can the Buccaneers battle and blast their way through to their 3rd consecutive Nedbank Cup final? Maswangani again, every time he collects the ball, the noise is just raised in the crowd. Maswangani now, cutback is good, the goal is excellent. Kabelo Dlamini scored a brace in last year's Nedbank Cup final, and he scores another today.
Mamelodi Sundowns aim to keep hopes of a treble-winning season alive as they face the cup specialists who look to end the cup drought, and that being Kaizer Chiefs at Loftus Versfeld in the 2025 Nedbank Cup semi-finals. It won't be Shalilile. Saleh, the men coming in off the bench, coming together. Ayende, Ribeiro, from one Brazilian to another, then to the Argentine, is lasted in a dangerous area. Chance here for Kaizer. Yes! 1-1! Juba!
Jose Shabalala kena utosamkhile batsamkhile Nteba Romela thula ka tlhoko go morago fela Tiwane ka para le Matlou e tshamekela tshalo bona ba e tshameka dikhutsanyane bona Kevin e go para tshale Matlou wa Romela Bafana ba gatshintsa kuluba.
Here's a confirmation of the final. It's the Nedbank Cup final, Saturday, the 10th of May in 2025. And of course, it will be live at Moses Mabhida Stadium in Dlelikhombe, Dubai. Pakistan, it's going to be a big one. And as soon as the time is confirmed for this one, you'll hear it here first on the mighty Soccer Zone. Well, let's take a look at the results from the weekend and perhaps take a look at the masterminds behind them all. For Orlando Pirates, there was a surety about them. And that surety came from believing in this man, Jose Ribeiro, because of his cup pedigree over the years since he's been here.
Absolutely. The last time a coach did this was SuperSport between 2016 and 2018, where they went back-to-back by win and Njikanjalo. So ngicabanga ukuthi nabadlali njengamanje bathi coach sifuna ukukwenzela okuhle because of what you brought into Orlando Pirates. You've made us scary to people. You've really made us the greatest ghost because of the way they've been playing. I mean, being able to get the MTN 8, you know, being the runners-up of the league, this season things could change, you never know. So Nje, Jose has really brought something great.
It's two things, isn't it? It's the last dance as Orlando Pirates have themed the rest of their season. Their coach, Jose Ribeiro, leaving at the end of the season versus Kaizer Chiefs, who we've now labeled their last chance because this is it for them. This is the last chance to get some sort of silverware. But let's see now from the coach. Coach, you've given it iso elinye. What do you have in the masterclass?
So tonight we are going to show you how Orlando Pirates is able to say we can play with 3 centre-backs, we can play with 2 centre-backs, and because they wanted to advance, bayakhumbula ukuthi Marumo Kalantsi yake yaba vatuza in the PSL. So they said because it's a cup, we want to go for a three-peat. This is how Pirates got to score a goal that ensured them a spot in the semi-finals. Now, you could tell already from Imarumo Kalantsi that they were a team that was ready to go in a counter because that's how they won 2-0 in the Betway Prem. But in this moment, in this game, Pirates said, we've got other plans. You can see the 8 players that are there. It's 8 versus 3 in proximity of Pirates. Now, the 4 we are highlighting for you is the 4 players abadlalama 1-2s balogba pasana. Now, at this moment, this is where you get to see those triangles, those diamonds. They allow you to be at angles with each other so that you can pull defenders away. Now, at this moment, wonke has his sponsor Uhoto takes a defender away. That's what he's creating for a Tito. Now, Unkota could easily say, Linang kanetika kena spacing sena magawatsi bor hakata melo kena mahatong amuchiemung because Linna kina limsebedzi waka. Hapa seu itla hunna shabadi one touch the kenang mo. Niga fela Dlamini says open foot. He could have easily taken a hard shot. Magawatsi bor msebedzi waka is a 28-year-old. This is the same guy that scored 2 goals in that 3-1 win against Chipa last season in the semi-final. So he comes back and he says, he got man of the match, by the way.
It's the most dangerous team when it comes to cup pedigree, Orlando Pirates at the moment, based on the history of at least Jose Ribeiro. Let's move now to Kaizer Chiefs, who are on polar opposites of that, Doggy. And let's not take a look at the entire history of not winning a trophy that we've been talking about. In Nedbank Cup, Nali record labo in the last 10 years. You can see a final this year, we put an asterisk on that because Assad's got your Perela.
Yes.
Last 32, semi-finals, last 32. It has not been a great run.
Definitely it has not been. And I must say that I was fortunate enough to be the last coach in the Stuart Baxter to bring that glory days at Kaizer Chiefs in a trophy. Because when I was working with Stuart, we won both. I mean, the double in terms of the following years, the league and also the Nedbank. So I hope and wish that this time they're going to change the fortunes because now this man here, he has made a difference. For the first time, you know, actually seeing him so composed inside the box, irrespective of what the referee is going to be saying about him. But I like the way he composed himself with the across. And remember, 2 years ago, he's been the pillar at Kaizer Chiefs. He's been the one that has been like a thorn for a lot of teams. Unfortunately, Walimala. And that cost even him with Angakon, to call up Bruce. And he just came back. And then there was then this Nabi thing, Oguti to Prince is not one of the favorite players and all that. But that was not the case. He came on Sunday, yesterday, and he made a difference. And that's the reason why the bench is the one that wins game for you.
4 goals in 19 games, Ashley Dupree there. But the excitement was in and around Uduba. And he was speaking to Mazola Molefe yesterday. And this is one of the best interviews I've seen a player and a journalist have. It was as if what he said, he gave us an insight into Kaizer Chiefs and how they won this match. Have a look.
Wandile, talk me through that goal, the composure that it had to take. Did you anticipate that Lucas would make that mistake?
Yeah. Besides, the target yet very bewungu Lucas Suarez. Besides, good to mistake cool. So, Masim force to tadlale ngaphakathi uzosiphatha amabhola.
Yeah, coach Masim force kuthalale phakathi uzosiphatha amabhola. Now it means the Kaizer Chiefs team realized ukuthi masilalela coach and execute, we're going to get results. Let's show you why Chiefs was the best team on the day and why they've booked a ticket into the final against the Orlando Pirates. Now already it's a high press that Chiefs is playing here. Ngiyakutshela nje ukuthi siyakwazi ukuthi uyi-team eyi-Sundowns ethanda ukubuild up from the back. Now once this happens, it means they've bypassed the 4. The difference now is that Kaizer Chiefs are getting behind the ball. At this moment, Tusales could have turned and made a pass either there. Because if he makes a pass there, then he continues running, even a Ribeiro goes there. That's how they bypass the press. However, he doesn't do that. If bad first touch, iqaleluba shoot away, aikom nandi so sagwazi kubasim vimbele. Now, this is the pass that Allende could have made, but he doesn't make that pass because he realizes ukuthi uSirino ungibhekile uyabona ukuthi he can get that pass and then sizoba senkingeni because uzodlala ibhola le phambili. Now, what does he think as an attacking midfielder? Let me play the passes there. He can either play to those 3 passes there, but he's unable to do that because this is what Chiefs has improved in this game. Slalasisho week in and out City Chiefs, defensive organization yabo is very poor. Here, they said so ukuthi poor yesterday, namhlanje sidlala kanje because here they block the passing lanes. Now Allende cannot be able to go forward. He decides, can jig and buyele umva. Kan buyele umva, unika usalezi pass. Le pass ujonga umkwena angayisa pa soze ngikwazi ukuyisa apho. Uyisaphi? Nayi le target kaDuba. UDuba ushilo wathi uSuarez. Gents siyakuye. I'm sure akakhulumanga ngeSfrench. Coach, ukhulume nge-English ukuthi when you get the ball, just go. When he gets it, go. Deny him the line, take it inside. And when they deny him the line, this is what he's thinking about. If he would have played this pass, he would have minused 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players, the Chiefs, if he would have made that pass, because upayipasa ini press, but he doesn't do that. He's looking down, true to Mamelodi Sundowns style of playing. Ushayi pass uDuba wathi, coach izinto zakho nazi walchola, and he doesn't look back. Velo like this 2-2 besi on Velo wathi, let me capitalize and score. This shows you Gucci when tactics are well executed on the day. Coach ube salesman right, wakazi Gucci. This is how we want to play, and they go. So le topic le lapha na sazi Gucci. Lama tactics azoqhubeka abasize ukuthi bawini I cup noma.
Well, that's the question. If they do go on to win this trophy, they end the drought to Kaizer Chiefs. But what do you think about what's happening in the league? If that was to be sacrificed, if they don't win the matches they have remaining in order to get into the top 8, they finish outside the top 8, yet get a trophy. Is that enough for you? Is that a successful season? Is that a season you can be proud of? Talk to us. We are live right now on all our social media pages. Football fans, this is your moment. Barcelona versus Real Madrid in the 2025 Copa del Rey final. El Clasico lento, and it's live on SABC Sport, happening on 26 April. It's game day. Githi kuwena noma kuthiwa ke awukho endlini usaphumile uyobuka ingane idlala usaphumile mhlawumbe uyothenga oncancane, SABC Plus ila indaba ikhona. Country wants to know. The country is asking the same question. They gathered on the television. I'm going to give you another 5 seconds. While we do that, we asked you to be a part of the show. So to get onto our social media pages because we're answering your questions live today. So some of you have sent your questions through, and so here is the ref.
Hey kumnandi khaya kunekhona yami hayi ithi ngibangena ke right singena via Orlando siya ku CAF right, MC Alger and Orlando Pirates, there's what we call simulation. Simulation is pretending to have been fouled and deceiving the referee. Wahamba. Let's go and see if this player was fouled u-Ayob. Asambe nekhaya ke siyobona ke ukuthi no uFan Rooyen is trying to kick there. He did not get the ball. He did not kick anyone, but the player there decided to go through Van Rooyen and deceive the referee, pretending to have been fouled. And then siyabona lana Ibrahim Traore, uyayibona lento ukuthi ayikho la, this player try ukungibamba inkuzi. He ignored that but gave a yellow card for simulation. Correct decision by Ibrahim Traore from Ivory Coast for giving a yellow card for simulation. Silo sakusaseka. Right. Asambeni ke siya Loftus. Kona ke kune big teams that were playing over the weekend. Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, now. Right. Asambeni ke sibona ukuthi what happened first? It's simulation. Not simulation, it's mass confrontation. Kuyaluyiwa lama. And amakuliwa kune rule in the law book under law 12 showing lack of respect for the game. A player must be cautioned. Asambeni ukuthi aboban ba show a lack of respect udog. Dog sababon asambeni ke right. Kuna labafon, look at that look at that. A player goes with a lunge that is reckless on his own. We are missing. We are donza futhi. Usirino lo. Makateta lana Lucas. We are one of no. Lo muntu lo uzonglimaza. We are push. That is showing lack of respect for the. Look at that there. That is a lunge. So that is a reckless. That player must be cautioned. Then makateta lana we are donza and then we are retaliate. By law, it's showing lack of respect for the game. So Lucas was cautioned. Look at it. So it's turned. But then it's turned. Yellow card for his retaliation, which is showing lack of respect. And for Serino, he has got 2 counts. Showing lack of respect and also the lunge, which is more reckless.
So he should have gotten a yellow there?
He should have, both of them, yellow.
All right, well, let's take a look at what people are asking you. Nangu ubanyana mponeng. Aibo. Uti, it was a soft offside. That one year Sundowns versus Chiefs. It is always allowed in football. It's not just him. The coach at Sundowns, he also wants us to take a look at it. Have a look.
Then it's after it's obvious, then comes a goal that is offside. I think you also, if you didn't saw, go back and look at it because it's clear. So when we work in a country that doesn't have a VAR, that's what happens. So just go back, take the image, you have the images, get the image from the TV, and there's a team that loses this competition out of a mistake from the referee.
Yeah, Coach Cardoso, arbitros de la CAF, de la FIFA Victor, will explain it to you today. Right, let's go to the match, Chiefs and Sundowns. We see a goal scored. Offside law says when a player is nearer to his opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent. Let's see who's nearer to the goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent. Nizoyibone ekhaya la ngoba ngizozama ukuyifreeza so that nibone ukuthi no who is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent. Ngiyastoppa la. Who is nearer to the goal line? You can see Dupree's there when George Mato crossed the ball. He is nearer to the opponent's goal line than both the ball and the second last opponent. So that is offside. So we'll wait for interference because we say it is not an offense to be in an offside position. When the ball is played, you play the ball, you are now interfering with play. Therefore, flag should come out for offside. Some say, no, ayiko offside from a square ball. No, the only time when we talk of a square ball, no, ayiko offside is when this player, this one who crossed is here. Then when he crosses the ball, dog, Ayiko, because so offside, the player is behind the ball, and then no one can be offside when he's behind the ball. But my son, offside, the player is in front, and Maga Pambili, offside law says he's offside, he must be penalized. But why would assistant referee I pick up offside? This is soccer zone. Why the assistant referee did not flag? Position yake imenjan. No, he must be in line with the second last opponent. Now assistant referee was supposed to be here, but Ula. So that is what made this decision a wrong call because he was wrongly positioned. So asisase kangaleshi.
There it is. Kwachuleka.
Aye, yeah. So like South Africa, VAR.
Move on. It's TS Galaxy Queens that took on Royal AM. Of course, a lot happening in the Royal AM camp. It was TS Galaxy that said, "Siyazi ukuthi ke nisakhali inhliziyo zebhlungu ziyopha because abafana bengaseko. Thina ke azange uzonduduza."
Khunti Homba from First Touch, she's signed with TS Galaxy, plays that cross to Nicole Michael, who scores a brace in this very match. This is match number 3 for ETS Galaxy, and that cross coming in from Mamelo Makabane. Look at that. A sublime finish. She plays a full back, by the way. She's a left back.
Yeah.
Usnaz.
So is this the first game your Royal AM? Oh, wow. But again, coach, keep uthathe a few seconds before I decide ukuthi wenzani now.
Indecision.
What decision wrong.
Some
first game yabo, but I would like to believe, coach, ukuthi Royal TS Galaxy, they've got quality players, and obviously also young players.
Absolutely, because Gunabo refilo Jane in that. University of Pretoria, we got to see them garner maximum points against the University of Fort Hare. Imbiama University, Gele City leads 1-0. A game against between UWC and First Touch was postponed. Royal AM is still at the bottom because they've only played 1 match so far. Devon Ladies Nabo Balapezanzi, they've only played 2 matches. Ezemvelo, they are another team that has been promoted into the Hollywood Super League. Bagu number 10,
yeah, looking good. I mean, University of Johannesburg, lapana basabambile. Asazi noma babambi umbrella or iSundowns izobuya. Kodwa ke TVW lezansi kangaka angazi kwenzakalani. But again, it's a bit competitive for me because look at where TS Galaxy is. So acquisition of players for TS Galaxy has helped, I think.
2 important games this weekend, and they're both on Sunday. It's JVW and TS Galaxy Queens. A big game, that one there. And of course, University of Johannesburg, Badlanage, TUT Football Club. That's exactly what we're going to be going through this weekend on SABC Sport. Iningi Litini Mankuluma. Sundowns is out and the country is happy as the biggest team is in the final. Itu John says they deserve a trophy. Kaizer Chiefs fans have been through a lot. There's a 13-point gap in the Premier League with Liverpool winning and ensuring 3 more points this weekend. Just a confirmation of the result from Interlazonto. Manchester City, 5 goals, the most goals scored, but there were goals galore. As you saw, Wolves and Newcastle United also putting 4 goals past the opponent. Southampton now good and gone. Leicester City getting a draw this weekend. A draw is not enough anymore at this stage. They needed all 3 points there. They are threading on very thin ice. It's only a game or so before we can confirm their relegation back to the bottom.
They are threading by the second. Wolves, I'm really impressed, like I mentioned earlier, 14 and 15, they've considered 14 goals and 17 goals apiece. That just shows you top 10 by Nung.
Liverpool, there they are, 76 points. Arsenal, 63. It's day and light between these two teams that took it towards the end last season. Liverpool just a lot more stronger. What does it mean for this weekend? Well, Everton versus Manchester City. We are part of the goodbye trail and the goodbye story of Kevin De Bruyne as we give you Manchester City at 4 o'clock. Let's go to Bundesliga. Well, this were the results, of course. You saw Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund. Bayern Munich have not been the most consistent of teams, but so having Borussia Dortmund 2 victories, 2 draws, and now 2 losses, 2 draws, and a victory there for them. What does this mean for the league, though? Take a look at the bottom. It hasn't changed much in the last 6 weeks. After 29 matches played, only 18, 20, and 22 is what Herdemann, Bochum, and Holstein Kiel have been able to sustain. Bayern Munich are still in the lead, though, despite that draw. They're sitting with 69 points, which is 6 to the good, versus Bayer Leverkusen there. But what games can you look forward to? Also, another thing that we must mention as far as this is concerned, Harry Kane has scored 23 goals this season, and Olise has assisted in 10 of those games. This weekend, it's Union Berlin versus Stuttgart. That's the big game. It's on Saturday. It's at 6:30. Don't miss it.